So I see a couple of newcomers on this call. So we have a ritual over here sort of to introduce all our newest members. So anyone who's attending this call for the first time, feel free to introduce yourself to all of us here. Even if you have attended any other calls throughout the last week, you can introduce yourself in this one. We have new community members attending this call. So you can volunteer or I'll start taking names. Okay, so Yash, you knew this is your first website's call, right? Okay. Uh, you can introduce yourself in chat as well if you do not want to switch on your mic. Who else is there? Joshua, is this your first website's call? You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Anyone who's attending the call for the first time, you can just introduce yourself. So since no one wants to, I think we'll begin with the call. Just write your names in the meeting minutes. Okay. So the first topic is basically did someone have to say something? Okay, so as you all know, we have been working on Meshery, and MeshMap is an extension for Meshery, and it is bound to be released soon. So we are looking to create a page on our Layer 5 website for MeshMap. So a couple of us have worked on this page. We have started with a basic layout, but this needs more work. So anyone who's on the call, if you can think of any other enhancements to this page, for example, this area is too much text, so you can do something to make it more attractive. You can even manipulate this, or you can work on the form, because as you can see, the form is too long now. There's a lot of white space over here. So if you can do something to the form, what I was thinking is, suppose over here, this section, it lets users input like any one of these fields, one or more. So and there's an open issue to make this required, but it doesn't have to be like all four of them are required. One of them is required. So that is one enhancement that you can work on. There's an open issue on the layer 5 repo. Another thing which you can do is probably not display all these four inputs at once, have the icons present here, and when you click suppose on the Google icon, only then this input appears, and that is required, and that is the only one you input. So these are the suggestions. You can come up with more like something better, and basically work on how to present this page in a better way, add more things, play with this. So we need volunteers for that. Anyone who you don't have to tell now if you want to work, but if you think of any enhancements to this page, you can always ping us up on Slack, or you can open up issues or describe what is it that you want. So anyone who has any suggestions right now, or anything, any feedback, anything to mention?
I think we should get rid of the carousel just below the header. Like, I don't know if this is called a carousel at all, because you see, like, it's not understandable that it's clickable, right? because the banner on top is black and here it's also black. I mean, it's not black. I think it's dark jungle green or whatever. So it's not really understandable that visualizer mode is going to be clickable from there. So yeah, I think we should get rid of this. Maybe show it in a better way. Like for example, if you go to the mobile view here, could you just shorten the screen?
Then it
Yeah,
becomes
yeah, then it becomes like it has two dots and it's like understandable that you can move around, or maybe like just have this move around after a certain, after like 5 seconds, 6 seconds,
yeah.
like it, yeah, like
So
an animation. Mhm. So yeah.
another thing which I was wondering when I was working on this is like in MeshMap, we switch like vertically. We have these panels over here, and you click this, and the other mode opens. I was thinking of doing something similar over here, present in a better way, like have a vertical panel, maybe the text horizontal, vertically inclined, saying designer and visualize it in a better way, because of course this is not very evident that it's clickable. Maybe have panels, and in a similar way we can switch between the two modes. So
Yeah,
that's an
that
idea, but I couldn't implement it properly. So
that makes sense. That makes sense. Like that's actually a really good idea, to be honest, because you would like whoever would come to this page is coming there to sign up for meshmap, right? So it gives them like a small insight on how things are supposed to go in meshmap. So yeah, that's a good idea.
so this is one place, like you guys can just take up one part of the page, like someone can work on improving this, someone can work on improving font. So in that way, we'll work faster and we can have more ideas combined.
So now, Rohini, RM.
Okay. So any other feedback, any other suggestions or volunteers, anything?
Like in the form section, can you scroll down? In the form section, the what role based identifies is we can, rather than putting the radio button, we can put the select option, like a drop down menu, and from there they can choose whatever they want.
Okay, so that will shorten the form. You're saying we need a drop down.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that can be done.
that's the idea.
Yeah, it makes sense to have a drop down menu here and select one. Cool. So thank you for that. Uh, if you can note it down over here in the meeting minutes, whatever suggestions anyone else has, you can put a sub bullet over here and note it, so that it'll be easier for us to make issues or assign tasks later after the call. So anyone on the call can do that. If you have anything you would want to mention, you can do it over here on the call. Okay. Cool. So moving on to the next topic. So I'll just pause for a second in case someone else has to add anything. So the next topic is the Docker desktop extension page. So I was working on. Right. So we are collaborating with Docker, and we're making a Docker desktop extension for Meshery. So we also need a page for that. We need a form to sign up for that. So I have made a very basic layout, which is similar to what you just saw. So this is the home page, and since there wasn't a lot of content that I found, this is how it looks now. Aditya has been working on this a lot, and there's a sign up form for this. So this is a very basic layout. So I'll probably be making a PR for this once it gets merged. Again, one of you can, find ways to make this page look better. So any suggestions right now as to what it looks right now currently? Or any feedback? How is this okay? Is this looking good enough for now?
Yeah, I think, yeah, it serves its purpose.
You guys can criticize as well, like constructive criticism. I'll not mind, so it's fine. Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
I think we can shorten up the width of some fields and put them alongside each other, on the horizontal side. This would help us shorten the form. For example, the first name, the last name, they can be put, on the side.
For this form or the MeshMap Beta form?
For the
Actually, for both, he's right.
yeah.
Yeah. Because no one has that big of a last name or a first name.
Yeah. Even the occupation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can be done.
I'll open up an issue. Or if you want to open up an issue, please go ahead.
Mhm.
Cool. Anything else? Right. Moving on. Is Leonard on the call?
Yeah, I am. Good day.
So do you want to discuss your open PR right now?
Yes, I want to, but then I don't think I could be able to share screen. I don't have any electricity issues. So, but
You
if
want me
there's a way I could discuss it, yeah, if you could share a screen for me, that would be good.
right? So this is the latest change, right?
Yes. Okay. Okay. So I guess so now I could like explain. So basically, I used a JS search Gatsby extension. So this extension basically takes in data and like performs a search on the data and returns a search results where you could maybe render on the page that you want to render, that you want to use to like render your data. So I think the problem with the search that Nikki mentioned was that I wasn't really getting the whole search. I wasn't getting the whole data when I perform a search. When I type in a query, like I wouldn't get the whole data for the paginated, for the ones that are paginated. So I get the data in the page context. So I only get data for the particular page that I'm on at the point. So if you go down, you see like that is paginated. So just doing some investigations, I found out that So the GraphQL only like it only performs query like like has limit on it. So it performs query for each page you go on. So if you go to let's say second page, it gets a new data, and these are the data that is passed on the blog page. So the search query, the search plugin is working as intended, but getting out the data, it only sees data
Yes.
that's fetched at the point. So when I go to at the page context, so when I go to page 1, so it fetches like a new data, like the GraphQL fetches a new data. Can someone say something?
The problem is this
Okay.
response time. I don't know how to mix. That's I'm struggling with. I've been watching videos. Don't ask God. Even as I say using Chakra UI, it's not making any difference to me.
So Michelle, you could mute. Can you mute, please? Michelle.
Back to back. Not they have not yet. Don't touch my head, please. What's today's date? 3rd.
Michelle, can you?
So it's giving me 2 days to do this thing. Mad.
Debo, can you mute her? Is it possible?
Yeah, I'm muted. I'm muted.
Okay. So basically, like I was saying, so the search plugin takes in like a data and maybe your search query and performs a search on the data. So because the data that is passed into the blog components, it's like has some sort of limits. So it indexes it gets 10 results at a time. So the search query is working for that 10 results. So if you go to the next page, it works for the page for that next page. If you go to the third page, it works for the third page. It is not getting it can't index the whole data at once because of the GraphQL itself. It's not really getting the whole data at once. It's getting it like intense. So that is the only problem, like the only issues with this thing at this point. Aside that, it's working as intended because I created a custom hook that really fetches my data. Like I pass some arguments on the custom hooks and it goes to like fetch my data. It returns some it returns like this indexed data that then you render it on a page. So if for example there's no thing that the list is empty, it returns the whole data at point. So everything was like why I use the custom hook is that so that you can actually use the custom hook in any component you want to use it on at the point. So you only have to pass in arguments and stuff, and it will return maybe a function that you could call on your search component. So and the search component is actually like it's a standalone, so you can actually pass search components around anywhere and just pass in some props in it for it to perform the search. So that's basically what I did with the.
So is there no way to like have the query go over the entire collection, like instead of just the page context?
Okay, I think there is a way, but then the data that the GraphQL is fetching won't have to be limited because at the point currently right now, if you go to the blog page, the blog component where the query was written to get data, you see that it has some sort of limit on it. So I'm thinking that yes, if there's a way, if writing the query to get the whole data, if you like the whole data can be passed down the components, yes, you can actually like perform the whole search on the whole data. But what I don't know for sure is if getting the whole data would affect how the page, like how it is paginated at this point. So I don't know. So but that could work, like getting the whole data then doing the search, because what is passed down the components is just 10 data that are gotten in tens. So which when you paginate, when you go to the next page,
So,
it only goes to query the next data. Yeah.
you're saying the data it's getting in tens, that is because of the pagination, right?
No, I
Query,
guess actually the I was working on this pagination, and actually it's the query, the GraphQL query actually giving only 10 data.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
it's, yeah, because I'm seeing the page context is only passing the page data. But if the same thing we can do, like the resources page. In the resources page, actually we are fetching like all the resources at once, and then we just uh, factoring the data by showing it 10 or 5. Okay. But in the block page, actually it's only fetching 10 data, and when we move the next page, it's fetching the next 10 data. That is how it's working.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, that is what I was talking. Like over here as well, we have pagination and we have only I think 9 or 12 of them. But when you suppose select this Meshery, it changes the total number. Like it only selects the ones which has Meshery on it. So maybe change the way the pagination works or something like that can help you over here. Because basically, suppose you search for Meshery and there's only say 6 entries which match, we should lose the pagination and these shouldn't even be there. Like,
So I had a suggestion regarding this. So right now the current, and I think I had also basically mentioned mentioned this in the pull request. So right now we are using the JS search, that is the one of the npm models. Now there are a couple of other open source search engines that are quite popular, including Millisearch and TypeSense. And what they allow is for faceted search. So first of all, you'll get much more quicker search results. They have very nice integration with the Gatsby. So the first thing that they will provide is a much faster search, search, like typo tolerant search as well. And then addition to the point that you mentioned, Dupriya, that in case we want to have faceted search, so for example, if we are changing the categories, it will automatically then reflect in the search results and the pagination as well. So those come directly out of the box. They will have an integration with Gatsby, so we don't even need to configure it that much. So if you want to probably just have a look at those two options, those are completely open sourced.
cool. So can you work with Leonard on this? Can you, like, both of you can probably find a way?
Yeah, so you can just probably, whoever is sharing their screen, they can just look at Milli search and at TypeSense. So if you can just type in the
Milli search.
So are you
yeah.
are you saying this? Are you saying these plugins would help? Like, how would it help when we can't get the whole data at once? Is there a way that it will help when we can't actually, like, when the GraphQL is only getting 10 data in tens?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
so
need the whole data, but is it possible by using this package research?
it should be able to. So we have two options, either Millisearch or TypeSense. So both are open sourced. So we could use it both for the blog section and also for the resources section. So each of the individual resource that we have, that will be indexed into this search engine. And they have an out-of-the-box integration with Gatsby.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll add these links to the meeting minutes. So Leonard, since you're already working in this, you can probably take a look at this and see if you can find a way. Will that work?
Yeah. All right. So maybe if there's a way, then I would. Okay.
And or other one thing we can do, we can change the GraphQL query. Then we need to change some logic in the block page also.
I didn't get you. Can you repeat what you said?
Like the GraphQL query actually now fetching only 10 data, and if we change it to fetch the all block data at once, then I guess it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. That could work for even this particular plugin. So, but what I don't know is how to deal with the pagination, since it's paginating by data found. So maybe I could look into, I don't know if there's a way, if I remove if it gets all the whole data, how maybe I'll look if there's a way to also change the paginated effects. So I don't know, that could work. Or what do you think?
Currently, this pagination is based on the current page context. In the page context, you just getting the 10 data and nothing else, and on the basis of this, it's working. I think some pagination logics we need to change. If we change the GraphQL queries like the resources page, then it will work.
Okay, I would take a look at the GraphQL query for the resources page and see a way to incorporate that to the blog page. So
Shiva, what was the other thing you're talking
The
about?
other one is type sense.
Type. Type.
Sense.
This one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've noted it down here. So we can go through it once and then come back to discuss this in the next call. Is that fine, Leonard? Shubhadeep, should I?
that's fine. That's fine.
Cool. Moving on.
Thank you, Sip.
Is Elizabeth on the call? I don't think she is. So, Shubhadeep, let's talk about your PR months. Till then, I'll open up what's in hers.
Yeah, sure. Can I share my screen? Is it visible? Hello.
Yep, visible.
Hello. Okay. Uh, act- uh, Actually, I'm working on this section course section, and there is this. It's previously it was not storing the answer when someone answer a particular question. So I fixed that problem. That for example, I select this answer tool, and the question review thing is working by other person. So I haven't fixed this. Okay, so if I go back to the previous question, now it is selected. And if also if I change the answer, you can see the attempted question is 1. If I change this answer, it will not update because it's restricted. If someone attempt a new question, then it will just update the attempted one, and also it's storing the value and also updating the question's answer. If I change this again now, it will update the answer, but it will not update the attempted question. The attempted question will only update whenever someone answer a new question. Okay, so anyone wants to put some thought on it?
I think solves the issue, right? Help users to-
Uh, I can't hear you. Can you repeat it?
Yeah,
Hello.
not sure. Then.
Yeah, but I didn't get it. Can you repeat?
Yeah, no, I was saying that this is working fine. Like, I think it solves the issue. So we'll just go review your
Yeah.
code once and then this should be good to go.
Just we need to this review one because it's automatically changes the question to next question whenever someone answers. It is actually working by someone else, so I didn't fix this problem.
If Elizabeth is also done with her PR, I think it will cause merge conflicts. Like, depends on whoever PR is with, right? Did you check if her PR is working properly?
Uh, yeah, I checked it here. It's working, but the highlighted option that he re- updated, actually it was not working there because it's actually storing the value for the current question instance, but not for the whole page. So the highlighted option I fixed that, and the question review option is perfectly working for her. Yeah,
You're saying her question review is working, highlighting is not working.
yeah, yeah.
So, will it be okay if we move forward only with the question review? Can you look into the highlight thing because you're doing half of it anyway?
Uh, I didn't get. Should I fix that also? Review question review.
No, I was saying that her question review is working properly, only the highlighting is not working. Right?
Yeah, I fixed that. For highlighting picture.
Right. So we
Perfect.
can move forward with that PR and then fix that and we can move forward with PRs.
Okay, okay, no problem. And another thing I want to raise that uh, one just one second.
One thing that I wanted to point out, there is too much green on the test quiz form. Overly green. We should
Uh,
be of the like we do have other colors.
uh, but
What do you guys think?
so one suggestion I want to add. Can I?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, before taking the quiz, we need to submit the form. But the problem was that I'm saying that, for example, if I fill all those things, but in password thing, actually it's saying that please fill in this field. So even I am setting this, there is some format, and the problem was if someone changed the format of this password, it will be logged in automatically. For example, if I go to the pattern and if I just remove this and just if I log in, okay, this random pattern, if I log in and it will be logged in. So I think we need to do some validation in the backend also.
Yeah, so currently there is no backend to this. So,
Okay,
we
okay,
want to like maybe integrate it with Meshery Cloud or create another something like Lee was suggesting that we use auth.layer5.io, something like that. So that users
okay,
can authenticate themselves. Right now there is no backend. That's why the form is just there as a placeholder so that we can still
okay,
work
okay,
on
okay,
development.
okay. So that's it. Thank you.
Devupray, you're on mute.
Yeah, I'm skipping over this as well because she's not here and we'll just go review the PR ones. Next is Raj. This is your topic, I guess.
Yep. So I have some questions. Uh, uh, if we are expecting mentees for the SheCode Africa to be beginner in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, or beginner in web development, then are we going to help them set up this course on their local system as well?
Hi everybody. Hi, Raj. Thank you for the
Hi.
question. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So, so for context for everyone, Layer 5 is going to participate in SheCode Africa program called Contributon. It's similar to GSOC, and it's going to be for 2 months, and Layer 5 is participating in this program. And for this program, we have a project called the Leaderboard Project, where the mentees are going to work with the Meshery UI to create like a leaderboard. And we have also mentors, and like Raj is leading the effort, and there are other mentors as well that are taking care of this. So now to your question, Raj, the onboarding experience. So these mentees, we are expecting 2 mentees. So there are going to be 2 mentees from SheCode Africa. And SheCode Africa, for more context, SheCode Africa is an NGO here in Africa that's, that bridges the gap for women in tech, sponsors programs for women in tech here in Africa. So these mentees are not, they are primarily not contributors in Layer 5, so they are going to be new to the project. So first, the onboarding experience we listed out was like, not total beginner, but like on like mid-level kind of experience, something. I think we used a scale about 3, from 1 to 5, 3. So they are front end. They are going to be front end developers, yes, but the important thing is they are not being members of Layer 5. So they are as well new contributors to Layer 5. So we have to give them like that onboarding experience for newcomers here in Layer 5. So what does that entail? So for the mentors are like their direct point of contact. So mentors are going to be helping them set up like their dev environment, get onboarded to the project. So there's going to be a first time call with the mentors and mentees to help them set up and then maybe async to answer their questions as regards setting up before like the main start of the project. And for the main start of the project, we are going to use issues like on GitHub to track that. So it's just going to be like opening issues on GitHub as regards the leaderboard project. So we know that the issue has to be like detailed to map that this is for the leaderboard project, right? So you open up the issue as a mentor for this program. You open up the issue, you point it out to the mentees or assign them to it, point it out to them, and they start on with building this stuff, right? Create like a plan. So the mentors have to come together and create a plan, a feasible plan for the mentees, over the 2-month span, create like a feasible plan where they can work on this and, finish up the project by 2 months, right? So we have, like I said, we have that issue tracker doc where we track all the issues, because towards the end of the program, SheCode Africa gets feedback from the mentors, right? So with the issues that the mentees have worked on, we can get adequate feedback to give back to SheCode Africa, because it's on this basis that they get paid by SheCode Africa. So the stipends are about $500. So on the basis of feedback from mentors, the mentees get paid by SheCode Africa. So I don't know, Raj, did I touch on your question? And I'm also going to, Bami is also going to like, put on a full description of everything I've talked about right now. So did I answer your question, Raj?
My question was not this thing exactly. I was asking, we were told that the mentees are going to be beginner or mid-level. And now I'm asking, it's a technical question. It's more on tech side. What I'm asking is, are we supposed to help mentees to set up discourse on their local system?
Yeah, you're going to help them because they're new to layer 5 project. So you help them set up. It can be async, right? They can try it on their own, but it prefer maybe on a call. You get on a call with them and help them set it up, because I believe they're going to have issues regardless of their experience, right? They're going to have issues with setting up, since it's like a new project for them. So yeah, you're required to like help them set it up so they can get started.
Raj, also setting up Discourse, you mean using Docker Desktop, right?
Yeah, you know, yeah, by setting up Discourse, I mean, if they are going to install production grade Discourse on their local system, then they need a domain. And if they are going to have a domain, then they need to configure the DNS setting where they have bought the domain.
Well,
And
that will be necessary only if they are working on something which requires that. If they're working on simple front end stuff, I don't think that will be required. In that case, we can avoid that step.
okay, so let's say if we avoid, then how we are going to contribute to the main layer 5 Discourse page, since we haven't got access to any of the repository or
Okay,
any of
let me
other
just.
code base.
I feel like we are going in circles again and again. Yes, if they need the help, you're going to do it because you're a mentor, right? You have to mentor them through the process as well. So yes, you're going to teach them how to set up Discourse when they're going to work on the leaderboard and stuff. Yep. Yes. Question answered.
No, Aditya, I was asking. Yes, we are going to help them set up Discourse, whatever DNS setting or whatever. But I am asking, we ourselves haven't got access for the layer 5 discuss forum code base. So how we are going to make change to those things?
No, so but that is on Discourse itself, right? Once you set it up on your local machine, you can do it in there itself. That's how there's no repository for the Discuss forum. It's on the Discourse framework, so it's on there itself. Once you set it up on your local machine, you can go to the admins page and you can make code changes there.
Okay, so you are talking about the dev setup for the Discourse.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's suppose we have the dev setup for the Discourse, then the API keys that we have got is only read only, have only read only access.
Okay. So basically, so you have set up Discourse locally, right? You're not being able to make any changes. Okay.
Also, I had one more question where is Discuss.layer 5 is a combination of Discourse and some other front-end service, or it's just purely running on Discourse?
It's purely running on Discourse.
Okay.
So if it's purely running on Discourse, that means what you're saying is that there is a way we can interface with this that we interface directly with Discourse to change what we have on Discourse the layer 5. Is that what you mean? Because the roadblock has been that say for example a mentee is onboarded and wants to make changes to maybe create do the whole API getting and fetching of data, and then make some front end create some front end page for our leaderboard. So our question has been that how do we actually do this thing with code? Where do we edit? So let me use that word. Where do we edit to be able to properly interface with this Discourse? Because then I have Discourse running on local, but I don't really know how to make changes per se, maybe getting data from Discourse and making changes directly to Discourse. So is there like some resources you could point? Maybe that would actually like show us the feasible way to make these changes. Because like I was talking to Raj, I told him the best way to guide mentees is when we the mentors understand these things ourselves. So I don't want us going like off this call with more confusions or not knowing like a step-by-step guide on how these changes can be made that to the from like you said, using the discourse framework to directly to the layer 5 discourse. So I don't know, is there something we could like look at to show how this is done? Aditya.
Okay, so personally, I've not done it before, but I've seen Lee do it using Docker. So we'll touch base on Slack about this. But I think something that'll help is you can go to the discourse. You can go through the discourse. Like there's this discourse Docker. Discourse Docker docs that you can go through, which is quite detailed. It tells you where to set up, how to set up, and how you can go on editing it on your local system. And then like to make the changes or like on like discuss.layer5.io, you cannot do it right now because we don't have the the dev server running, which was staging dash layer discuss.layer whatever it was. So we don't have that running, so that's why we want you to do it locally. Then we'll go through that on one of the website calls, and then we can, like, one of the admins then goes and deploys it on discuss.layer5.io.
Okay, so now I understand. What you are conveying here is we have to develop the leaderboard page on our local system and hand over the code to you guys, and then one of the admin is going to push the changes to the production grade server. Okay.
So Aditya, if you get the link to the docs, I would like and send it over to like the mentor group. I would really appreciate it.
Yep,
That's
I'll
really important.
just find it and I'll send it over.
All right.
That means we are not going to use Git for this project or any version control system. Okay. Then we are asked to collaborate on GitHub by building some part of the leaderboard and then opening issues for the mentees. If each one of us is going to do on our own local system and we are not going to use Git, then how?
No, so there is a repository, but that doesn't do anything, right? Because it's on framework, it doesn't do anything. So if you want to collaborate in that sense, yeah, you can push your code to GitHub so that like whoever is working on it, so that you guys are on the same page. But yet again, that's going to require like communication in between who all are working. Like it's gonna be tough, but you'll have to do it.
So Raj, did you get the point? Like, are you clear on that? So maybe you could, if I have some confusion.
So far, what I have understood is each of us are going to have discourse running on our local system, the dev version of discourse, and each one of us is going to make changes on our local discourse and then going to hand over the code to the admin, and he is going to push the code to the production grade server. Am I correct?
Yep.
And related to onboarding experience, how are we going to contact them, or when we are going to know about them?
I think one of the mentees messaged on Slack, right?
Okay.
I think Ruth can help you like get in touch with all the mentees who will come in. Right. And once you have the set of people ready, you can assign the tasks easily. You can open up a Google Doc. The instructions that you need, like for people to set up, you can add them over here so that you don't have to, spend time personally with everyone. list down the rules, the instructions over here, and then you can share on the doc with all the mentees. And later, if there's still any problems, you can utilize any one of the calls that you have, any one of the sessions to help them out.
Okay, got it. Anybody else, we can reach out on Slack, on layer 5 Slack, if we need some kind of help or we have some questions related to discourse or anything.
Yeah, I think I want to say something. I think it would be really great for us to like have a doc that has like a step-by-step guide to setting up this course, so that the mentees, so we are having 2 mentees from SheCode Africa. So if you have like a doc that has like it 1 to 5 or like step-by-step of, you know, how to set up this course and how they can set up their dev environment, to be really great and to reduce like, you know, back and forth answering questions and all that stuff. Right.
Yeah,
So if we have that doc, that would be awesome. So the mentees can put in like a step-by-step, 1-by-1 process of how to set up this course, and you know, so that if they have, okay, I think Leona said that's great. Okay, cool.
Cool. So we'll circle back on this on some next call to see what the progress.
Yeah, one more thing. So I was supposed to confirm this on chat, but I don't know if the mentors got invited for an onboarding call tomorrow for this. Do you have any invite on your Raj? Do you have any invite?
No, so far I haven't got any.
Okay, I'll circle back. Thanks.
Okay, so the last topic for today is by Aditya Suviti. Do you wanna move forward with this?
Yeah. I'll just show what the latest update about the card view is. I'll share my screen. So in the Meshery UI, we have our patterns, and in the previous iteration, we had the patterns in a table form like this. Now, what I've implemented is a card view of the same pattern files, similar to that of performance profiles. The card view is like complete now. All the buttons work. Like if we go click design, the configure to open up. If we like click deploy, the pattern gets deployed. And also if we like want to edit something from the YAML itself and update it, that is possible now, and delete is also possible. The only thing left is the maximizing button. Like if we want to go full screen, it just right now it just goes like length. It just gives us 100% in length. It does not go in width. But yeah, that's the update that I wanted to give. Yeah, yeah. And if there's any feedback, okay, yeah, okay. And Harshit, maybe, yeah, Harshit showed me some like bug here, but I'm not able to reproduce the same bug in my system. So I don't like, I'm not able to replicate this similar bug in my system. So I don't know if this is an issue with everyone or just Harshit.
Hello, Aditya. I think in my screen there was 3 cards showing there. So if you, I think, yeah, now you can use.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
Okay, it doesn't happening now. I think maybe there is a problem with my system. Okay, I will check it out. Okay.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
But we can have a third person check it out just for confirmation. Anyone else?
I'll check out the peer. All in all, looking good. Aditya, looks nice.
Okay, thank you. And yeah, okay, for this max like full screen view, I was thinking we can maybe just full screen till here, or do we want everything like full screen means everything full screen?
Let's do the same size as what's there in the list view.
Table. Okay.
Yeah, table view.
So the problem with that is for the table view, we are using a dialog, right? and the dialog just pops up, and if you click full screen, we get an easily full screen. But for the card view, I just used a code mirror part in the back part. If I want to use a dialog, initially I wanted to use a dialog like similar to this dialog and like put it in the card itself, but that is not like that was not happening, because if I put a dialog, if I flip the card, the model opens up.
Yeah.
Aditya, hello. Can you run it on a local host 3000 on your local host?
Okay, 3000. Okay, I have not set up my dev server. Okay, let me just set it.
We can check that after the call. Right now, right? Yeah, so I get what you're trying to say. So if you extend it widthwise, like does it clash with the other cards? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. No, if I go with the same approach, like here, the dialog box doesn't like sits behind the card, but it pops up just like.
Yeah, so basically in the list view, what's happening is when you click on maximize, the width and the height becomes like 100. It becomes 100 VH,
Yeah,
right?
yes, yeah.
So so if you do that here, it won't work. What if you like increase the Z index? Like it'll be on top of the other cards.
Okay.
You can try doing that, right?
Yeah, I can try to do that, but yeah, okay, yeah. But for that, like for the maximize, I have to set a dialog box for the maximize button itself. Like when a maximize button is clicked, a dialog box opens up with a maximum screen. Yeah.
Yeah, you can